Hey guys, it's Evan. It is late April 2025 and today's video is called Planning for a Trip During Breeding Season because that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm pre-filming this and when you see this, I'll be on my way to Washington, D.C. to see my dear friend, like family to me, Steve. And I'm excited to see him. He moved down there last year and I promised him I'd go see him within 12 months. So that's what I'm doing. But it's landing right in the middle of my kind of a hectic time of year for me, and I'm just going to tell you all the little things I'm doing to try to walk this camel through the eye of a needle and make sure everything works out. So first of all, just general things about taking a trip with a collection like this is you have to kind of schedule your water changes and your feedings and whatnot strategically. And so what I did is I kind of changed my waters out of cycle. So I changed them early, and that will buy me a little extra time so they'll stay fresh for the trip. It's only a 4-day trip. The other thing I did is I held off on feeding for a few days strategically so that the bulk of these animals don't poop and pee until I get back. So it'll just maintain cleanliness. Some other things that you can do to maintain cleanliness of and hygiene in your cages and extend your time is you can put a little piece of pure copper in your water bowls. That will give you a little hedge. You can put 2 water bowls in. Those are things I've done to manage trips. So I'll tell you that, but the other truth is there's no substitute for somebody coming in and looking at these animals every 3 or 4 days. And I just have I have a few really trusted, decent, strong people that come in here and do that for me, and I really, really appreciate it. So that's kind of the big overview, but I'll just tell you some nuts and bolts. So basically, today what I did is I separated out all my breeding animals so that I could feed them. So I pulled the male out of that Amorale thing. This is not where he lives. Don't think this is where he lives, but I just put him in here for the day to feed him. I'll put him back tomorrow before I leave. I separated out the male Dumerol's boa. I separated out the male Argentine in its own cage. Other than that, these California Kings, they have not been paired yet, but they're about ready. I pulled them out of brumation a couple weeks ago. This is the male. He fed for me yesterday, and he's looking awesome. And the female, when I pulled him out, I fed the hell out of her. Like, I've probably fed her 10 prey items in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like 2 mice at a time. And what she's doing is she's going into a shed. And what I think this is a like pre-ovulation shed. I don't actually know what it's called with colubrids. I'm just kind of going into uncharted waters and by feel and by some real just casual things that people have told me. But she's definitely going into shed. And so when I come back, I think that what I'm going to do is pair her up. And pairing up king snakes is a little different than pairing up boas, but I'm going to do that. And beyond that, over here, I have my children's pythons. I'm not going to disturb them too much. This one was, if you counted 54 days, she's gone 57 days before, but 54 days was 2 days ago, and they're looking real close. They might hatch while I'm on my trip, and that's just luck would have it. But what I'm doing is I'm setting up 2 tubs. So I have 2 litters that might. I don't think the one's going to hatch while I'm gone. The other one might. But I have 2 tubs. This is how I set them up to begin with. Wet sphagnum moss, a little bowl for water. And what I do is I kind of mount this sphagnum moss right up to the bowls so that the snakes literally can kind of like crawl up and just encounter the water really easily. I think that one thing that happens sometimes is it's just hard for small animals to encounter water. If you think about it, it's like 10 times as tall as a snake is. So it'd be like you trying to go up a 5-story building to get a drink of water. So anything you can do to encounter, help them encounter the water is good. Other things, small air holes and food tight, watertight containers for these little children's pythons because they are very apt to get out of things. And then other than that, I just booted up one of my spare racks and I left a hole in it so that people can go ahead and put the tubs in like this. And the reason that I use tubs instead of the tubs with a lid instead of these lidless tubs that fit in them is because they can get out of the lidless tub when they're babies. So that's just something I tell you. But other than that, that's just what's going on. I'm going to take you over here, let you see some animals. Male Argentine boas. I just pulled him out from the female. He's like, I want my lady. Where's my lady? This one's not paired. He's like, why didn't I get a lady? This female, this one is the one that's looking real big. I don't know if you can see that, but. So they're all due. They're all getting fed today. And the last thing I have to solve is the timer, the smart plug on this is going wonky and it was running off hours. So I need to reset all these plugs. So I have a lot of Kasa smart plugs in here. And this is the only Kasa power strip I have. And the power strip gives me a lot of trouble, the smart power strip, losing its schedule. And I've had to reset this a handful of times where none of the other single plugs I have. I don't know what the deal is, but overall, I really like the functionality of a smart plug, but that's annoying. So that's just what I tell you. Diamond Python knows it's feeding time.